Have you ever been asked why you brought a casserole to a sex shop? The GPS said, "Arrive at destination," as I pulled into what was definitely not my cousin's bridal shower venue. The sign read, "Pleasures and Treasures Adult Emporium," in aggressive neon pink. I double-checked the address Brittany had texted me. 1847 Industrial Boulevard, Suite B. This was Suite D, but B had to be close, right? I grabbed my famous 7-layer casserole, still warm from the oven, and walked past the blacked-out windows looking for Suite B. The numbers jumped from A to D with no explanation. Maybe it was inside? The moment I walked in, carrying a tinfoil-covered dish that clearly contained food, everyone froze. A woman examining a display of items I couldn't identify. A couple comparing boxes of something electronic. The cashier, whose name tag read Thunder, though he looked more like a Gerald. "Is this for the party?" Thunder asked hopefully. Now, I should have realized he meant a very different kind of party, but I was focused on finding Brittany's shower. Yes! Where is everyone? In the back room. Trixie's been waiting for the refreshments. He buzzed me through a beaded curtain into a room where 7 people in various states of leather clothing sat in a circle. They all turned to stare at my casserole. "Finally," said a woman who must have been Trixie. "We're starving. Protocol says we can't start until everyone's eaten." I set down the casserole, still looking for any sign of wedding decorations. "Where's Brittany?" "Stage name or real name?" Trixie asked, lifting the foil. "Oh my god, is this homemade? Real name? She's my cousin. This is her bridal shower, right?" The room went silent except for the faint buzz of something battery-operated in the distance. "Honey," said a man in assless chaps, "this is a BDSM workshop." My brain short-circuited. "A what?" "Bondage, discipline, sadism, and masochism," he explained helpfully. "Introduction to safe words and boundaries. Though casserole is a new addition to the curriculum." I looked around the room with fresh eyes. Those weren't party decorations. That wasn't a piñata. "I should go," I said, reaching for my dish. "Don't you dare take that casserole," Trixie commanded with surprising authority. "Harold's diabetic and needs to eat before we practice rope work." That's how I ended up serving 7-layer casserole to a BDSM workshop group who acted like I'd brought manna from heaven. They were actually lovely people. Harold was an accountant. Trixie was a kindergarten teacher. Chap's guy, whose name was Stuart, was a youth pastor, which raised questions I didn't ask. They insisted I stay while they ate, asking about the recipe and complimenting the layers. "The cheese blend is revolutionary," Stuart said, somehow maintaining dignity despite his outfit. Meanwhile, my phone was blowing up. "Brittany, where are you? We're playing pin the penis on the poster without you. Your casserole dish is empty." Turns out Suite B was in the identical building next door. The sex shop was 1845 Industrial Boulevard. A typo had sent me to the wrong building entirely. "I really need to go," I said, standing up. "My cousin's actual bridal shower is next door." "You can't leave," Trixie said. "You're part of the group now. Casserole bonds are sacred." Thunder agreed to walk me to the right building, still in his latex vest, which made entering Brittany's shower interesting. 30 drunk women playing Never Have I Ever went dead silent as I walked in with a sex shop employee. "Courtney, what the hell?" Brittany asked. Before I could explain, Thunder announced, "She already gave her casserole to our workshop. Fair's fair." He left with a wink. The story came out in pieces. By the end, half the shower wanted to check out the sex shop, and the other half was scandalized that I'd stayed to serve food. My aunt pulled me aside. "You served your grandmother's recipe to a room full of deviants?" "They were very polite deviants, Aunt Carol." The workshop group sent me a thank you card a week later. Inside was a photo of them holding an empty casserole dish, fully clothed this time, with honorary member written underneath. They'd chipped in for a gift certificate to a kitchen store, not the sex shop, which was thoughtful. Maved. Brittany's wedding was awkward when Stuart showed up as her fiancé's youth pastor. We made eye contact during the ceremony. He winked. I knew too much about this man's weekend activities to watch him bless their union with a straight face. The casserole dish became legendary. My mom asks if I'm bringing it to the right kind of party every time I cook now. The BDSM group invited me to their monthly potlucks, which they swear are just regular dinners, but I'm not risking it. Thunder and I are actually friends now. He's getting his PhD in philosophy. Sometimes he texts me recipes with names like submission sauce and bondage bread, which are just regular recipes with unfortunate branding. I triple check all addresses now, and I never, ever trust GPS in industrial districts. Some mistakes you only make once.